Have you ever been ghosted by a woman? What does it feel like when you get ghosted? There's this woman that you like, you guys have this initial interaction, there's some attraction going on. And whether it's a few days, a few weeks, a few months, you see her interest wane away, and ultimately you're just left empty handed. It's rather frustrating, isn't it? So, today I want to talk to you about what do men do in these situations and why you shouldn't ghost woman. This might seem a little bit controversial. This might seem a little bit backwards towards the time that we're living in, but I think this is really a crucial point to understand. This is basically a message I want to give to my 25-year-old self, my 20-year-old self, even though I didn't have that many women to ghost. I'm just seeing this as a pattern in today's culture with all the apps, Instagram, the dating apps. It's just like social interactions don't carry as much value over text as they used to. Like people are able to get so many mate selections like they've never had before in human history. Think about back in the day, like you would go date someone, you would be living in their small town, everyone would know you, you would know them, they would know your family, and they would get a good sample size of you before you even went on your first date. Where today you get nightclubs, you can go out there, you can just meet people, people are drunk, you can take a girl home that same night. Nothing wrong with that. But you can see also the negative impacts of this. If you think of dating apps, I can just go on a dating app, swipe 100 people. Maybe every girl won't swipe on me, but it's just these endless options, endless choices. So it all becomes very surface. And with so many options, like I said, think about if you were in a small town, if you went on a date with someone, you couldn't just ghost them, okay? You would see them again, you would bump into them again, families would talk, your reputation actually meant something. But in today's world, it's easy to hide. It's easy to hide in the dating apps. It's easy to do weird stuff. Guys sending weird dick pics and stuff to girls. Why? Because in some sense, there's no real consequences. You can get away with so much more, and that's why mainly the phenomenon with women is the phenomenon of ghosting is so common. Imagine a hot girl, how many guys are messaging her. If she had to literally like end it and send a message to every guy, she'd probably be on her phone all day, which she is already. So it's easier to ghost people if you're starting all these endless conversations on a dating app, on Instagram, whatever it is. Well, they don't mean that much, so there's no point of actually giving someone a genuine reason why you don't want to talk to them. It's just a much easier route to just not send them a message and to just ghost them, okay? And I've had my fair share of this, but as men, I want to warn you that this isn't the best action you can take. Why is ghosting women not good? So, number one, you don't actually get a clearer picture of who you are. So, do you ever get a feeling where you're like, I don't even know who I am? What do I like? What don't I like? And one of the ways we can understand who we are as men, feel more grounded in ourselves instead of running after women, feeling so scattered in the world, is coming to know ourselves better. And one of the ways that we can learn to know ourselves better is finding out what we're a clear yes to and what we're a clear no to. So, say a friend or some person you know invites you out for like a dinner one night. And you're kind of like, oh, I don't really want to go, but I feel bad if I don't go. So, yeah, I'll just say I'll come. That's not being clear in your yes or your no. You need to be like, yeah, man, I really want to be there if you do. And if you don't, no, I really don't want to be a part of that. One of my clients recently was messaging with the girl, and she's like, I've got work going on. I go to my friends, but I can fit a date in with you for 45 minutes once a week or whatever it is. So I appreciate her actually saying what she was available for. But I told my client, he's like, yeah, I don't think I want to see that girl anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. Send her a message and tell her why. Not even for the girl, that can be a part of it, the feedback, but just for yourself. Like, I'm very clear in what I'm a yes to and what I'm a no to. Another guy I was working with, he like had this girl that he was dating back in Brazil, and he lives in Australia, and it's just kind of like open-ended. The girl still wanted to keep things going on. He didn't really want to, but he just kind of left the door half open. So it's, again, not being clear in the yes, being clear in the no. That's what we want to strive for. So if you do ever find yourself in a situation where you went on a date with a girl, you were hanging out with a girl, and you didn't see it going anywhere, instead of ghosting her, tell her in a polite way that you're not interested in carrying on the interaction, the conversation, the dating ritual, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and give her a reason. It can be as simple as like, I just don't think we were a good match. It can be something as simple as, sometimes the best thing to do, and it's always the most scary, is like genuinely be honest. Like, hey, it was cool hanging out with you, but if I'm being honest, like, I would have preferred if you actually asked me some questions on the date. I feel like we were always talking about you, where I'm looking for more of like an equal win-win exchange here. And I didn't really find that with you. So I just wanted to let you know where I'm at. There's something very attractive in a man's no. Think of it almost like an invisible wall. Like, even when I say a friend asks me to dinner and I'm like, hey man, sorry, I can't make it, so I won't be there. He feels that no. If I'm like, yeah, let me think about it, I'll get back to you in a few days, and I'm kind of never deciding on the no, it feels very watery. And women are craving to feel this no from a man. And in today's world, a lot of men, it's like we don't want to say no to a woman. We don't want to seem mean. We don't want to seem rude. And then the opposite end of that is most of us become people pleasers. We get walked over way, way too much, where the key to solving that is actually finding your no. And the reason why it's so scary is because most men are afraid of women's negative emotions. They'll use phrases when they're dating a girl like, yeah, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I didn't want to make her mad. I was scared we were going to get in a fight. And that's when you know the dynamic is way off. Okay. A leader, and hopefully as a man, you're the one leading in the relationship. A leader shouldn't be afraid of the people they're trying to follow, okay, or the people who are following them. The CEO of a company shouldn't be afraid of what a low-level intern thinks about things. It doesn't mean he doesn't listen to them, but he's not like, oh my gosh, what did the intern say? A principal of a school shouldn't be afraid of what a student in ninth grade, of their negative emotions, if they're sad or angry or anything like that. It doesn't mean, again, that they don't listen to them, but men who are supposed to be leading in the relationship are afraid of their woman's emotion. So that violates hierarchy. Okay. The person who is lower in the hierarchy fears the person higher in the hierarchy. So if you're scared of your girl's negative emotion, it's basically a clear indication that she's actually the one leading the relationship. So tying this back to why you shouldn't ghost woman is finding that no and being okay with the negative reactions. It's just, you're such an asshole, like blah, 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 you're such a mean guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, being okay with that judgment, being okay with receiving that negative emotion from a woman, because if you're not, you're basically a puppet. Women can control you. They know if I get angry at this guy, if I get sad, he's just going to crumble and do whatever I want. Where we want to be solid in ourselves. We want to be able to make decisions. A lot of guys end up in relationships because of this. They're like, yeah, I didn't really want to be in a relationship, but she was kind of pressuring me. She was getting sad and upset. I didn't want to make her sad, so I just went along with it. I'm like, is that what you want relationships to be built on? To me, that's not ideal. It should be a fuck yes from me. Like, yes, I really want to do this. So I'll wrap this video off here today. What's your experience been with ghosting? Have you been ghosted a lot by women? Let me know below. Have you ghosted women yourself instead of having that difficult conversation? Even if it's just sending a message, telling her you don't want to see her again and the reasons why, I would advise you to do that going forward. It's difficult, it's not easy, but it'll make you a way more attractive man, and also have gain your own self-respect and self-esteem in the process, up-level your self-confidence as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.